The NBA might be about to screw the New York Knicks, and we are going to break this down. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video as we always do, because the NBA may be getting ready to screw the New York Knicks, as Scott Foster will be the crew chief for Game 6. Now, if you don't know what the crew chief is, it's basically just the head ref. And Scott Foster is a bit of a character. I mean, we all know the deal with him and Chris Paul. We all know that Scott Foster might be a little bit a part of the olden NBA days when things were a little bit more corrupt, and David Stern would use Scott Foster as one of the guys to kind of help make series go a little bit longer so the NBA can make more money. Now, what's Scott Foster's nickname? The Extender. Because of that, he extends series. He always calls games in favor of the team that is down in the series, or so we think. So we're going to take a look at this, guys. I mean, first things first, for the pregame referee breakdown, which the New York Knicks have, and so do the 76ers, except the Sixers don't realize it, so they complain to the NBA about it. This is the breakdown on Scott Foster. He calls fouls more than most refs, more personal fouls, more shooting fouls, more fouls in the restricted area, more offensive fouls. He's average on techs, and he's very high on most violations. Now, the only thing that he's low with are the overturn rate of challenge calls. So, Scott Foster, a little bit of an old-timely ref, but it kind of looks like his calls fit in with the modern NBA because there's a lot of fouls, and it's kind of encouraging, I guess, to know that despite the fact that he's going to allow a lot of fouls, we know he's probably not going to overturn those. So that's interesting. But also, when we look at things, we realize that we don't want Scott Foster because he calls a lot of fouls. Now, Joel Embiid is very good at drawing fouls. He flops around the court, screams at refs, and has an aneurysm every 5 seconds if he takes an open jump shot and there's not a foul called. I'm pretty sure Joel Embiid is just practiced to have a stage 5 level schizophrenic episode if he doesn't get fouled. I mean, he jumps around like he's 3 feet tall and 8 years old or something like that. Not like the 7'1", 30-year-old that he is. I mean, I don't know how people can act like that on national TV, but also I'm not an NBA player, so maybe I'm not one to talk. But here's a list on the free throw shooting for the playoffs. The most free throw attempts is Joel Embiid. Now, yes, I'm aware Jalen Brunson is second, but also if you look at Brunson's usage rate, it explains why he's at the top of it outside of Embiid, but also still within the realm of everyone else. Well, Joel Embiid is just miles ahead of everyone, because that's his game, and the refs have given it to him. Now, people love to call Jalen Brunson, and by people I mean 76ers fans, love to call Jalen Brunson a foul merchant. I don't even understand how that's possible, because you have the foul merchant himself on your team. This is an absolutely outrageous stat to see that Embiid has 18 more free throw attempts than anyone else through one series of playoff basketball. But this is the world that we live in. So I am kind of nervous when we think about Scott Foster calling a lot of fouls. It seems like that could lead to Hartenstein getting in foul trouble. It seems like that could lead to Mitchell Robinson getting in foul trouble. I don't want either of those guys to get in foul trouble, obviously, as none of you guys do. But Scott Foster might not care, and he might give Joel Embiid every call. Now, if this happens, the Knicks are really going to struggle to win this game tonight. I mean, already they're thin. If you're going to let Embiid get to the line, it's going to be the easiest baskets he's going to get. You want to make the man work. You want to exhaust him at all points. So doing this might not, help the Knicks very much. But what does help the NBA is if we get Game 7 in Madison Square Garden. Now, that makes the NBA a ton of money. You get all the stars out. New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson, an up-and-coming NBA superstar on the New York Knicks, all the celebrities in the Celebro facing off against Northeastern rival Philadelphia 76ers, who have the reigning MVP on their team. There's bad blood between the teams now. So yeah, obviously that would make the NBA more money if they could go to a Game 7. Now, am I saying the NBA is certainly going to rig this? Absolutely not. Do I think they're outright going to rig this? Probably not. Are they going to favor the 76ers tonight and give them more calls? Probably. I would. So I wouldn't be too shocked if that's what happens at all right here. And as I've talked about, his nickname, Scott Foster, that is the extender. In the last 21 playoff games Scott Foster had refereed that weren't game ones, the team behind is 19-2, including the 0-3 Raptors to the Sixers. Now, mind you, this is from 2022. It's why it's discussing the Toronto Raptors in the playoffs, because we all know that they're not there, though RJ Barrett's the GOAT, so they'll be fine. But it's definitely something to still be aware of, because when you keep looking at stuff like this, you could see the opposite of it, where instead of talking about how much this happens, maybe say that it's complete nonsense, like sportsbook breakers. Now, they said since 2006, when Scott Foster works a game 6, the team that is up is 16-5 overall and 14-7 against the spread. Now, this is a betting line, Twitter, so they're just trying to give you guys the best bet. And they're basically saying, go for the Knicks. Teams looking to close out an NBA playoff series at any point are above .500 against the spread in games that Scott Foster works. So, maybe if you're a betting man or a betting woman, I don't think there's any women watching this channel that aren't my mom, but if no matter what, if you gamble on sports, apparently it's believed that maybe betting on the Knicks wouldn't be the worst idea. Now, I do gamble on sports, but that's none of your business, so I'm not really going to talk that much about it. I'm probably going to bet on the Knicks tonight. It feels like they're going to win this game, but at the same time, you have to look at this from both sides. Historically, Scott Foster is viewed as the extender. However, when you crunch the numbers, usually the winning team, the team that's leading in the series, does end up winning. Now, I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't think any of us do, because you need to wait to see the basketball game. We can't predict the future. But I'm very, very curious to see what goes down when it comes to Game 6. Are they going to favor the Philadelphia 76ers? Are they not? If this is an even game, I think the Knicks are going to win. Both games the 76ers have won have come off incredible games from their two All-Stars. One of them has to go for nearly 50. They have to get a lot of luck to go in their favor. There's going to be a lot that has to go Philadelphia's way for them to, win this game. Hopefully the Knicks can just get it done. I don't want a Game 7, guys. Why the hell would I want a Game 7? I don't want to deal with this. I want to see the New York Knicks win this playoff series, get out of here, and to go face either the Milwaukee Bucks or the Indiana Pacers, depending on who they end up playing. That will be decided. We'll know that around 8:30-ish, around 9, right before the Knicks game kicks off. We'll know if we have an answer, because they'll either be playing the Pacers or we'll be looking at a Game 7. So, guys, make sure to tune in to Knicks Digest for any information on all this. We're always reporting whatever the biggest Knicks story of the day is. We're going to have some fun with it, guys, so you don't want to miss it. Like this video, subscribe to Knicks Digest, turn on post notifications, and if you're still here, why? The video is about to end anyway, so go Knicks.